What's happening, everyone? We are back. We are back, and my camera looks a little out of focus. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Let's see. Trying these new couple different options. Does it look out of focus? Tell me, everyone. I feel like it's a little out of focus for me. Interesting. Give me just a sec. Just a sec. Weird. Is it a light? Nothing like a lighting issue. I literally just installed another light, and I don't know. It looks weird to me. Yeah, give me just a sec. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I think the lighting was messing with my camera. Weird. All right. Anyways, welcome. Welcome to the show. This is gonna be a fun one. I've got Corey back on the show. We usually do a regular one. Him on my channel, mine on his channel every once in a while. And a lot of stuff to talk to. We got the BankX stuff that just happened today. I was looking at Twitter. I'm like, man, there's some interesting stuff to talk about. There's been some BankX chicken and egg stuff perhaps going on as well. And then PulseChain just killing it in every vertical except up only as of now. It is sidewaysing for a moment, which some people may panic on. Some people may not have much of emotional response at all. So there's that. I'll get to chat in just a minute. But yeah, everyone, welcome back to the show. Corey Custer, how's it going, man?
What's good? How you doing? Oops, I didn't even realize that was it. What's good? I'm all right.
Your camera?
What's up? I'm good.
Were you testing? Were you testing your camera? You were doing that. See if you can catch up.
Yeah. No, I'm all right, brother. How you doing? How's everything?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just never a boring day in Hexco. Never a boring day.
Oh my God, tell me about it. It's always fun.
Hey, it's President's Day. I forgot about that.
It is. That's why I'm off for 10 days.
What kind of job has that?
Educator.
You get off for 10 days for a one-day holiday?
Yeah, that's right. We get off for President's. We get off for winter break. We get off for spring break, and we get off for Easter break.
Well, they do tend to do a great job up there, so I'm glad we're celebrating pretty hard, party hard on that.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
Anyways, just the comments about my hair. My hat is my look, so that's why I wear a hat most of the time. Or 100, I guess on the show, pretty much even meetups and stuff. I wear a hat. I'm usually in my like t-shirt attire, usually like this.
I like your t-shirts, though. They're cute. I like them.
Thank you. I get a lot of people ask me where to buy them, and I really can't remember. Because I'll just buy them, and then I just will wear them, and then I'll like them over time. I'll keep the ones I like and get rid of the ones that don't. And then somebody asked me, like, I don't know, I bought this like a couple years ago online somewhere. So yeah, man. Dude, BankX. Let me pull this up. Like, I think this is the most exciting thing that Corey wants to talk about because he's so intrigued by the ability for people to buy and sell tokens into the ecosystem freely. Is that does that offend you, sir? Does that offend you?
No, it doesn't. That's why I can't be mad, because I'd be a hypocrite. Like, listen, like, this is a capitalistic based system. This is cryptocurrency. Like, I would be a hypocrite if I was angry at the fact that somebody was selling something as a result of being in a free market economy. It would just not be. It would be very hypocritical on my end. Is it kind of annoying? Yeah, because I feel like with BankX. So I just saw the 350 million were just put up for sale. And listen, like, in the long scheme of things, is that a lot? It is, but it's not really that much. But I feel bad because, like, HEX has been literally under hostage. And I think one of the reasons why HEX has been suppressed so much is not because of the whole thing that's happening with Richard, but because of this one incident, that there is one particular entity that has so much HEX that people are nervous that what if that's going to all dump at once? Are people going to gobble that up? And we're seeing it now with the 350 million sell wall that we see here. At least, they're not selling all at once, thank God. So, I can't be mad, but I do believe wholeheartedly that one of the reasons why HEX and as a result PHEX, because HEX and PHEX, have been underperforming compared to PulseChain and PulseX. And in my last stream, I was very critical about PulseX, and I've been pleasantly surprised in what I've seen with PulseChain, PulseX, and even Ink, to say the least. But like, PHEX and EHEX have been performing pretty terribly. And I think one of the reasons why, specifically for EHEX, is because of this like situation where nobody knows what exactly is going to happen with this much HEX as a result of one entity, holding this. So I can't be angry because this is a capitalistic system. But at the same time, I can acknowledge the fact that one of the reasons why I think HEX on both chains have not gone up, and even with PulseChain and PulseX, is because of these whale games being played, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wonder, so the different ways, I haven't really thought about this, but I'm trying to think of the different ways that they could get rid of, like, different options for getting
OTC.
liquidity from OTC is one, doing a off the market deal with somebody, just doing a transfer and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But also just on the market. So you got liquidity positions. Sounds like what they decided to do with it sounds like half. I think they got like 700 million, but 350 million for sale between 1.2 and 2.1 cents.
Yes.
So liquidity is one, getting at least half absorbed that way. I wonder, because we see a lot of HEX to Pulse, HEX to PulseX, and Pulse for PulseX and stuff trades between the three blue chips. I wonder if there was if they bridged over the EHEX, because if it was HEX on PulseChain, it'd be different. I think I haven't checked it recently, but I imagine there's a lot thicker liquidity there between the tokens. But even if they bridged over the EHEX, I wonder what the slippage would be if they just traded it all for Pulse or PulseX or something they wanted to hold, or traded it for Pulse and then did like a liquid loans thing, get liquidity, and do that route as far as getting money. I guess whatever the goal is the goal to get money to do stuff with, or is the goal to just get out of the ecosystem? But they're building a product here. I'm not sure I'm not clear on what the goals are. I guess that would determine what kind of options they have for liquidity as well.
That's the main question here. And it's like, I don't know what their main goal is. I've spoken to Lance a few times, a while ago. It's been a very long time since I've spoken with him. I quite frankly don't know what their plan is. I only can surmise on what I see. And when you're having, when you want to sell 350 million of your 850 million or 800 million or whatever the hell they have, that's a considerable amount. That's almost that's about 35 to 40% of your holdings you want to sell at this range. So my only assumption could be they need the funds. They don't see the upward. They don't. I mean, let's just be honest here. Even if they sold 350 million EHEX and they still had 400 million, that's probably in the top 5% of all wallets. I dare say top 2% of all wallets that hold EHEX. So if EHEX went to, I don't know, 15 cents in this upcoming bull run, that's a major acquisition of wealth by holding just that. And maybe they need the funds right now. I don't know. But the only thing that annoys me is that, like, you see EHEX, PHEX, PulseChain, and PulseX right now being entangled by these whale games. Like, we have the PulseChain resistance from 0.00015 that can't be broken right now because of whale games. And by proxy, then PulseX can't break 0.00006 by proxy. And PHEX and EHEX have basically just been stable coins over the last couple of months because the fact of, I really think that one of the reasons why is because of these particular situations that we see ourselves in. So, and this is not something that can't happen again. I mean, let's just say theoretically, there's a great project that comes out on PulseChain and they do a fundraise with HEX, and who knows, a whale can do that again with HEX or PulseChain or PulseX, and you can't. There is a level of autocracy in any DeFi protocol because of the we tend to think that cryptocurrency is this like equilibrium arena or playing field where everyone has equality. And I completely disagree with that 100%, because no matter what ecosystem you're in, it doesn't matter what project or what financial instrument you're in, there's always going to be that top-down, I would dare say, oligarchy, where there's going to be a few people that hold a lot of the supply, and then the many that don't hold a lot of the supply, that are basically dependent on the moves of either an immense amount of retail money coming in, or whales pumping up the price, or watching the whales keep the price down and suppress. So I think that there is, unfortunately, this bit of autocracy that's happening with sellers right now. It kind of baffles my mind that anybody would sell these projects at this price when you waited 2 years. Like, you're selling PulseX under sack rate, and you're selling PulseChain about 40% above sack rate, and you waited 2.5 years. Like, that kind of baffles me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's unfortunately where we stand right now.
Yeah, I think that if people are selling, they're doing it for a reason. I mean, some people just, I mean, their reason may be more valid or more interesting or like better judgment than other, like different reasons, but they're, they could just be wanting to get out of the ecosystem. They're like, you know what, I'm done. It's still too risky. I don't like it, whatever. I'm gonna go play in Solana or some other thing that my buddies are into or whatever. A lot of people don't think about the ROI and even the time aspect. They're just very short-term minded of like, oh, even if they waited 2.5 years, they'd be like, yep, cool. I'm out. I want to, I want to remove this chapter. I want to move on and just get away from the highest appreciating asset that's the world has ever seen. What a lot of us believe, at least.
What baffles me is that, like, and people who do that, like, for example, listen, like, I got no problem with somebody leaving the ecosystem and looking at other projects and, buying other coins. It's the name of the game in cryptocurrency. But, like, if you're selling these projects for coins that have already pumped 10 to 20x from their lows, I mean, like, I think that there's this, I think that, again, it's not financial advice, but I tend to side with Sami on this. I think there's an unrealistic expectation of what people think Bitcoin in this bull market's going to go. A lot of people are saying there's going to be a 10 to 15 trillion dollar market cap. I don't think that's going to happen. Personally, this run, I just don't. I think we'll see maybe 6 to 7 trillion, which would put Bitcoin in the 90 to 110,000 range. But if you kind of think about it, we're already halfway there, or almost halfway. We're already, if it's 90K top, then we're already halfway there. So I guess the main question is if that's the case and alt season is going to be upon us, I mean, what is the expectation for like Solana or XRP or these other, or BNB or these other pre-established chains? Like, what do you think they're going to go to? Like, in maybe a 6 to 10x? And listen, like, if you're doing a hedge, whatever, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, PulseChain, people tend to forget that what the SAC addresses has. And again, no expectations, all that fun stuff. But we're already seeing SAC addresses, come in. And last time I streamed with you, I was very disgruntled because of the prices that I saw, and they were not moving. And then the SAC addresses, like 8 days later, pumped the prices up to PulseX and PulseChain to prices we haven't seen since the launch. So, I mean, again, it's everyone's decision what they choose to do: buy, sell, trade, whatever the hell they want to do. But realistically speaking, thank you, Dimebag Crypto, by the way. Whatever the case may be, it is what it is. Whale games will be played no matter what ecosystem you're in.
I like this comment from Artie. Coming conspiracy theorists, I see a future live stream with Richard shouting how everyone should have practiced long-term gratification invested in HEX. That would, if there's ever going to be the HEX pump of a lifetime, it might come from Richard doing a live stream and everyone like, the king is back, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
But the thing is, for me, this is all speculative, but I don't foresee Richard coming back streaming until the earliest October this year, because that's when the SEC case is happening. And then, like, not the SEC case is happening, but like, excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. I don't foresee Richard coming back and live streaming until either very late this year or early next year, because it's just, I don't think it's in his best interest to do so. And I don't blame him for not putting himself in the crossfire of, more litigation issues. So it's up to us to build this chain up. And what I am very, 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 very grateful for, and I know that I got a shitload of resistance in this community when I first entered this community, because everyone was against third-party projects launching this platform. And again, like just like every layer one chain, you're going to have garbage, trash, and scams launching on the chain. But there are going to be outliers that do a very good amount of work for this chain. And I think that this community, unfortunately, has had a lot of disdain towards third-party projects up until the PulseChain launch and even after it. But now, since Richard has kind of given his blessing by, highlighting liquid loans, fame, internet money, Go Pulse, like I think these are all genuinely good things to see that, like, okay, the founder that basically some people, I hate to say it, but can't think for themselves and realize that the third-party projects can do well, and you don't need a Richard's approval to realize that. But now Richard's approval is there. I think there's going to be some type of sentiment shift, and you're already starting to see that now, thankfully. So I've been waiting for that for 2 years, thankfully.
Well, you know what else we've been waiting on for 2 years? Load page.
Wow.
200 some projects. I want to say the numbers. Supposed to see right here. 200. I'm going to go with 217 projects that have launched on PulseChain. And
a lot of projects.
Guess what? The most recent one added is one of them. Come on, site.
I'm a good swimmer. Pool party.
I'm going to close. Read what I'm typing.
I can't sleep.
I know. I was kidding.
Oh, I was going to say.
Go. Let's see if it shows up. It's just I'm not going to blame the site. It's probably my internet. Anyways, Go Real DeFi. Just got added there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to go rate it, give some stars. It's new. So if you want it to show up near the top of the ecosystem ratings, which is really good. It's really good site. They put together some stuff. I got it actually listed.
Great job.
If you go to Go Real DeFi and you click on projects under Learn to Earn, it'll take you to the map. There we go. You go /map and it goes 216. Wow, did they remove one? I swear I said 217 the other day. I'm not sure. Did I swap one? Did they swap Go Real DeFi for one of them? Let's see if we just search for Go Real DeFi. Yeah, boom. Nice. I'm number one up here so far. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why it's there, but I like it. Okay. So yeah, you guys check it out. Again, vote. I don't know if that puts it anywhere better or if it just makes it
good job, bro, Hammer.
Show up. Appreciate that, man. I actually did put a lot of work. I
know you did.
I don't do a lot of work anymore. I just basically update like Learn to Earn with different, you know what? It makes me do work in other areas because I'll be like, hey, what's the best way to get people into farming? Well, I can create a farming playlist for yield farming on PulseX and stuff. So looking at this and trying to think of what's the best way to get people to use the official apps or the best, way to access them for onboarding and such, buy the blue chips, and then also get the information they need as far as like learning about the ecosystem, onboarding, all that stuff too. It makes me go create value in other areas that then I can use, I can link to on the site. So it's critical. I don't spend nearly as much time updating the site anymore, other than adding these, but I spend time in other ways to make it have like the synergy with other projects too.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you do that because I think it's crucial that we have, these type of third-party projects that are launching that give educational content here. I mean, educational content is the cornerstone of how this community is going to grow and onboard other people. I mean, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, then who the hell is going to trust you? So, I think you've created something special, bro, Hammer.
Appreciate that, Dr. Meatballs.
No problem. Yo, you know what's funny? I'm looking at your background on the YouTube, on YouTube, like on my side. It looks like, for some reason, because my vision is so bad, it looks like a piece of steak is to your right.
My background or the channel's background?
The channel, the pink fire. It kind of looks like a steak.
Oh, the pink fire. That's
I like it.
That's Mr. Red Bull. That's his fire coming out. Yeah,
I like it.
Piece of steak. I have to look at that for a minute.
I dig it. I like it.
Chat, let me know if you see a piece of steak. I'm seeing some flames.
My vision.
Sticking to greatest ecosystem on earth, man. PulseChain. What do you think makes it? What gives it advantages over the other ecosystems, especially the last few weeks? Like, why are people so excited about it?
The SAC addresses and community. I think that the acknowledgement that the SAC addresses is helping price is very important for future confidence. I think that having a robust chain that's not a ghost chain that's consistently in the top 15 of all TVL chains is very, very important. I think I was just talking about this with Donovan on my channel, where like, you know, you watch a channel with 105K subscribers and they have like, you know, 50 people watching, and then like us who have, you know, around 10K and there's 100 people watching. It's like, you know, it's either hexagons know how to market very, very well, or they're extremely passionate about supporting their content creators, or an amalgam of both. So, you know, I think personally, dude, I think the major excitement around PulseChain is, one, the gatekeeping is coming down. I mean, you have a lot of people that I'm very close friends with that are entering this ecosystem now that are very big names, Ben Armstrong being one. Crypto Wendy, though, you know, not like gung ho in Hex, is deciding to, you know, provide content for PulseChain now. I think that's very, very important. You got Donovan now with 90K subscribers. These are big names, and like they're the people that get out of the echo chamber. They're the people that cover other projects, and by proxy, if you have a YouTube channel with 100K subscribers covering XRP or Solana or ADA or Bitcoin or Ethereum or crypto news, and then at the same time they see in that list of videos they have a Hex and PulseChain video, you know, you're more inclined to have somebody click that video from another community than if it was somebody who does Hex and PulseChain content consistently, and it's just the same person clicking it. So I think that that's also something very, very crucial, that these gatekeeping concepts are kind of like going down. I think another important aspect, though it's not entirely accurate, PulseChain having prices on MetaMask, I don't think it's that accurate. But having those prices is a good step in the right direction too. And then plus all-time high with bridging and assets, shit like that. Finally getting the DeFi, you know, IPFS link stuff under control. That's another good thing. So I think that right now everything is kind of starting to settle. The only thing that we really got in front of us right now are whales playing whale games that are really keeping these prices down, unfortunately. So yeah, yet to be seen. What up, Sloth?
Yeah. I think, yeah, what's up, Chad's Crypto Sloth puts a lot of value in this community as well.
He does.
The influencers too, I think it's interesting because every time I see them create, it's, first of all, I'll say it's been amazing to see, you know, people that have been leaving comments and new people join the community and just asking questions and joining streams and otherwise that I've never seen before. And they're very positive. It's not just people showing up to like, you know, to say negative stuff or otherwise. It's like positive people showing up wanting to learn more information to figure out this ecosystem. Exactly. And I think a lot of that does come from not only, you know, the changing sentiment around crypto in general, but yeah, us getting people, many of which who you named, to say like, hey, this is an opportunity. This is a place where there's a ton of stuff going on and not many people are paying attention to it. And they're not saying it when Hex is $1. They're not saying it when Pulse is a penny. They're saying it when they're way, way, way below that. So I think that's the cool thing. Like if you zoom out and have the perspective of, okay, let's say everything goes really successful and maybe those things happen or somewhere near that. I have no idea, just purely speculating. But if that happens, how many other influencers are going to start talking about it near the top? And we've already got the ones talking about it, you know, you could say around the bottom. And how many more do you think are going to, you know, once they see it do 50 or 100x, are going to start, you know, talking about it probably after they already got a bag, probably, you know, after they've got, maybe they have other plans that are not so generous with their followers and otherwise. How many more people are going to talk about it and actually push it? You know, I've talked about this on the show before about people saying, you know, $1 hex or $5 hex or, you know, PulseChain to a penny or 10 cents or whatever it is. Those are targets or goals, or those are things that you want them to, I guess you want them to catch on because it kind of, to make it come true, right? Like Hex can't get to $1 or can't get to 50 cents if their highest target, if everyone just says it's going to 50 cents, like you need some wiggle room for it actually to top out at $1 or whatever it is. So if you want Hex to go to $1, maybe, and again, I'm not saying like lie to people or like gaslight them or whatever either, but I'm just saying,
no, of course,
look bigger, think bigger. like think about the how many things are good that are good that are going on in the ecosystem that could propel it so much farther. That way everyone else can buy in and think, okay, well, maybe this thing can, and then it just can manifest itself. Honestly, I think a lot of these things manifest themselves, and not in a zero-sum way, but like in a good, positive way that a lot of people can benefit from, especially when they're early.
Exactly. No, I agree with you 100%. I think it's a matter of, we're still, listen, I don't think this, again, it's not financial advice. I still don't think that this bull market's going to last to 2026. I don't. I think that this bull market will last another year or so, around there, probably end around the end of the first quarter of next year. So probably around this time, a little bit later than this time. So, I mean, the good thing that I'm seeing also is ETH is heading towards 3,000, which is generally a good sign for what the hell is it called? For alts, and especially high quality alts to run. I'm already seeing some of them start to run. So I think that there's a value proposition in that as well. Bitcoin running sideways, Ethereum doing its thing as well. But I do think that right now there is. So here's my thing. There's a fine line, I think. Like, I agree, you need your cheerleaders in the community, both male and female, that call for these price predictions. But at the same time, I hope that there are people in this industry, its ecosystem, that although that manifestation is very important for those price targets to be hit, that also people have a plan if they don't necessarily hit. Like, for example, I've always been very realistic at my targets. Now, am I going to miss out because of that? I very well may. But the last thing I would want people to do as well is, I see people out there calling for a $20 HEX this run. I think that's outrageous. I think that's insane. I see people calling for a 10-cent PulseX, and I'm like, what? I
think I did do the calculation, and around 9 cents would be a 10,000x from the all-time lows of PulseX.
Yeah.
So if they're saying that, that's probably where it's coming from. FYI.
Yeah. No. So it's like those don't, bro. I would love to see that. That would be insurmountable gains for everyone in this ecosystem, no matter if you're a plankton to a whale. I've been in the situation in 2017 where I didn't sell, and because 2017, I didn't sell. It's kind of like that shell shock, where it's like I'm too nervous to have these gung ho, personally for me, predictions. But
you sound like disbelief, sir.
Yeah, every ecosystem has its price predictions. Like, I have people, I see people in the ADA community calling for Cardano to be $20 next run, and I'm like, guys, what are you smoking? Like, you actually think Cardano's going to go to $20 this run? Like, what are you thinking? Like, be happy if we go to $4 to $6 next run. Like, be happy if we go to $3.50. Like, chillax, homebrace, chill. So
I think I summarized it, Corey. Go to the bull market. Yeah. Shock Corey. We got to shock Corey.
Bro, I will literally, I will be ecstatic. Listen, I will be ecstatic with joy if I want to be wrong. I don't want PHEX's top to be, around a quarter to 30 cents. I want all these numbers to come true that I see on Twitter. I just have shell shock from 2017. I really do.
I think I've talked about this before too, different discussions, but I think the thing I've been really good at, this will be my third cycle once I complete this after this bull market.
Same
and here. The thing I've been very good at, which has helped me, but also hindered me taking profits, has been holding. Like, I'm very, very good at holding. I'm very good at believing that things will go up over time. Whatever. I don't need to sell at the top at every cycle, but also, and because I do like accumulating yield and T-shares and all that stuff too. But also, I think I could be more effective if I am able to see through the euphoria at those times. Exactly. And that's something I definitely plan on doing it this cycle as well. And I hope everyone else is able to do that too, in a healthy way. And there's lots of ways besides market selling to do it. If you want to really help the community without murdering the price, there's liquidity providing and loans and all these different things. Do your own research to figure it out. I'm sure we'll have a lot more information about it. I've already got a lot on the channel already about how to take profits without, you know, murdering the price if you choose to do so. But anyways, that's been one of my biggest, I don't want to call it a weakness, because I feel like I don't consider it a weakness. I consider it just not being as effective as I could be.
No, it's not a weakness at all. Yeah. And like, here's the thing, guys, like when you start seeing HEX flexes or pulse flexes, how the hell do you think people are buying these things? They're doing it because they're doing it by selling. It's not like this dude magically got a $100,000 raise at work or a $100,000 bonus and he bought himself a Lambo. No. He did it by selling PulseChain, PulseX, Inc., or HEX, or PHEX, or whatever ecosystem you're in. If you're in an ecosystem and the guy's like, hey, check out my new Range Rover, and it's like, yo, you were just driving a 2004 Prius. How did you end up getting a 2024 Range Rover? That shit adds up, and people have to be apparent in that. So make sure to watch social media. You'll see the signs of euphoria. Right now, I think we're in a disbelief phase, like RHMax said. I think we are in disbelief phase.
It'd be funny. I want to see the meme of like, you know, it's got one person showing another person their new Lambo, and the other guy's like, oh yeah, it's the dancing one, the dancing meme when he's like, they don't know I have like, you know, a huge, I held, they don't know I you know, I don't want to hate on the HEX side and staking and stuff, but it'd be fun. There are some funny memes you could do around holding too long, where people in real life are actually enjoying the gains, and you are just like, you're so diamond handed that you're literally like sacrificing it. Not in a, again, I don't want to say it because I love the fact that people lock up HEX and they delay gratification, do all these things that are good for them, and they reap the rewards. Hopefully everyone locking for 5, 10, 15 years, may you have the maddest gains. I truly wish that for everyone doing it. At the same time, being able to take profits and living a good life while still having HEX bags and still staking and delaying gratification, practicing over the long term. To me, that's a more healthy lifestyle overall than just being like, God, I got to go through another cycle. Here we go, another cycle. I got to wait 3 more years, that sort of thing. So I think you can do both in a healthy way.
The one thing a crypto bro hates to hear, but it's the brutal truth, is that the world still runs on fiat. And until that changes, you know.
Corey, how high can ink go?
Why you got to ask me this price prediction question? Listen,
I'm going to ask you right when
I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised. No financial advice. I would win the knee, man. That's funny. I would not even be surprised if ink does the best. I would not even be surprised anymore. At first, I didn't even talk about ink. I still barely talk about ink. But like how much traction ink has gotten over the last like 2 months, it's like, whoa, this token was sold.
Richard himself has alluded to it being leveraged on Pulse and PulseX. So the fact, like, I guess one of the major points you could say for it outperforming a lot of the other coins, maybe even the blue chips, the other blue chips, is that it is leveraged. So it goes down, leverage meaning it could go down much harder than the other ones, which it has, and it could go up much farther than the other ones have, which it has. It outperformed everything at the beginning. It was like $70-$80.
Yeah. The same thing with PulseX. And I was criticizing PulseX last time. So, you know, I was calling it PoopX, you know, like, and it seems like it seems like the ones that people thought were going to do the best price performance wise are right now doing the worst. I mean, people thought that, including myself, that PHEX and PulseChain and EHEX were going to do the best as of right now. And the ones that really are performing the best or moving the fastest are PulseX and Inc. And it's like, I guess the crowd is always wrong. So, you know, it do be like that.
Speaking of doing like things, Pool Party was released, and man, Dipcatcher and Gold Key have been on fire the last couple of weeks. Gophers, the fractional. I don't know. Do we have a phrase for it? Fractional NFTs? They're not. It's funny. Are they still non-fungible if you can get fractions? Like, I wonder how. Not because you can't split up the NFT itself, or you can't you can't modify the NFT, but you can still have parts of it. So it's funny how like there's this little nuance with it. Anyways, it's NFTs with a price chart. You can trade the values, all that. So it's Gophers, and then also Pool Party just launched. There's a free claim for people as well. I encourage everyone, if you had any gophers or name claim, I forget, they did a stream that went over all the stuff you could claim it with. But I think this is going to be a really cool. I'm going to have them on hopefully in a couple weeks. I'm going to reach out after everything's settled a little bit and be like, hey, let's go through, do a deep dive on Pool Party. Because man, yeah, what do you think of Pool Party and what it's going to do for HEX?
I think Pool Party is kind of doing really well right now, price wise, unless I haven't checked in the last couple of hours. But it did well in the first try, and it's funny. I'm just annoying. I messaged them immediately, and they streamed on it. I literally messaged them last night before it launched. But I think it's very important to be able to stake HEX in pools because you get increased yield. Excuse me. So basically, because you get to stake with other people, there is basically a higher yield proposition, which I think everyone who stakes finds higher yield proposition important. I think the gas fees that are lower is very, very important because especially if you're staking HEX on Ethereum and you're paying Ethereum gas fees at the top of the bull market, which are exorbitant. PulseChain was basically created for that, as many people should know. I think that's very, very helpful. And also, I think that having that type of liquidity model where there's like this instant notion of liquidity is also very, very important as well regarding these stake pools by being able to move between these pool tokens. But I think Pool Party is pretty cool, and being able to discover these stake pools that are launching and getting really good deals on T-shares for those who stake. I think it's a really, really cool proposition.
Yeah, I think these guys have just been making all kinds of products that have super utility in the ecosystem, and anything that, like, that's why communists, whatever it is, anything that makes people incentivizes them to lock up HEX and do 5555s, or to do all the healthy values and principles and stuff in the ecosystem, and builds upon HEX. Again, more exciting products that make people want to use HEX, the better. Like, I don't need anything to want to use HEX. I don't need anything else. I love just the native staking portal myself. But if you gamify it and you have people who are creating their own pooled stakes and stuff like this, like, I think there's already a few kicked off here too. Yep. Mm-hmm. PHEX, AR, Quarter, Glow, I616. If you gamify it where it just makes HEX exciting. If you lost interest in HEX, it's going to make it exciting again once you have like groups and stuff to do this. So very exciting.
I agree 100%. That's why Maximus DAO guys, they're great. I think Maximus is a great proposition for HEX. Same thing with Pool Party. I see nothing wrong with them. So yeah, man, I think it's a great proposition for HEX stakers.
I'm very excited too. Like, even seeing this, just literally me looking at it. Again, I just said I don't need much to get excited about HEX or to incentivize me to make more stakes or whatever. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, pulled HEX, they got almost 1 million. They have a 0% organizer fee. So each person that sets one up can set, I think, the different fee structure and otherwise. And just seeing people pulling HEX together to do stakes, no matter if they're 10 days or 300 days or whatever, they're 16 days. That's cool. Like, it makes me want to go join. I'm like, oh, I want to go. I want to go check this out. I wonder how much HEX they're going to get. Like, and dude, it's these guys, they don't get enough credit. Like, I think Gold Key is like super good at marketing and design and UI, and like, they're a super complementary pair where Dipcatcher is doing more of the smart contract coding side. Gold Key is doing all this stuff. I see him pumping out content. Shout out to Gold Key. I see him pumping out content.
Yeah, they're good fellas. I like them.
Constantly. Nothing to do with the Maximus, just like PulseChain stuff.
Yeah, I don't even talk about Maximus as much as he used to. I mean, that's why it's like, talking about PulseChain often, and he's one of the most retweeted guys in the community. So, and liked. So, good for him. They're both great guys. I like them both.
There's certain people in the community where I just think I share some. I feel like I share this similarity with them too, because, like, for me, a lot of days I'll wake up and just be like, what, literally, and not explicitly, but like just thinking, oh, what cool stuff can I do to help HEX and PulseChain? Like, what interesting question can I go research and then solve and make a tweet or make a video or make content for people? Who can I interview that will make these connections, that'll really put pieces together to help people? I did a tax AMA yesterday, and I don't see hardly anyone like doing like tax AMAs or like doing, validator stuff, like whatever it is. Like, I love being able to find a niche and be able to just bring value, not just anyway, that's why I've never been into daily streams. I mean, nothing against anyone who does daily streams or otherwise out there, but I just think the value comes from taking a topic that not many people know about or are super interested in and building upon that, or building products, or, it could be products, could be content, can be whatever. But anyways, those two guys, and there's plenty of other ones, Alex from Hedron, and there's a ton of people in the community. I mean, even yourself is just having the stamina to go out and stream a lot and just go produce content and, build bridges, all that stuff. It's I hope it's inspirational, because I get inspired. I get inspired when I see those guys launch new products, for example. And I'm like, man, they have this, they just can't stop. They can't stop pushing us forward. And that's super inspirational to me as well. And that's what makes me want to create more stuff and go out and, do good stuff for the community. So I hope more people I hope the green candles help lift people into a good enough mood to even be like, hey, whatever you're here for, this is worth your time. And if you put in the effort to help it grow, hopefully you'll be rewarded. I hope that's the framing that's coming back around.
Oh, I hope so too, because for me personally, I look at my daily planner, and it's like, I look back at the months since 2021 when I entered this community. What's up, Humberto? How you doing? He's a great guy. Late 2021, it's like, all right, I used to do 3 streams a month when I was in the protocol I was in prior to PulseChain. Yo, what up, Doja Cat? That's the I don't know if you saw that tweet, but I was in the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't really just say that. I was watching the Super Bowl with my friends.
And Taylor Swift.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. So and they we're talking about Doja Cat. I looked at my friend and I'm like, yo, Doja Cat's a person? And he's like, what, do you live under a rock? I'm like, yo, I swear that I thought Doja Cat was a cryptocurrency.
I thought it was a cat.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, at least I'm glad I don't know modern culture. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, so I've even slowed down on content because I used to do streams 5-6 days a week, and with a full-time job, no, Drip, I'm not, I promise. I really thought Doja Cat was a cryptocurrency. I live under a rock. I promise you.
I still thought it was a cat when you first said it. I've never heard that name before in my life.
There you go. Good. I'm glad. I used to do 5-6 days a week streams, and it's just now I'm doing them, twice or 3 times a week because it's just, you want to have like what you do, you don't regurgitate content, you're creating content that's different every day, or not every day, or however you do it, however often you do it. And me, I've noticed that it's better off to do 2 to 3 streams a week as opposed to 6-7, because it may sound like it's easy, but this shit is exhausting. And you're not making, I mean, you don't even monetize, but you don't make much money doing this unless you have 100K to 1 million subscribers and you're getting ad revenue up the anus. You don't make that much doing this. So, for me personally, I'm trying to find a sweet spot of maybe doing 3 days a week. That was funny. I saw that. And I'm trying to do that and have some happy medium because, also working full time, it's kind of difficult to do this. But yeah, I mean, having that consistent content, I'll tell you one. I agree, PulseX. She's another one. I really feel bad for millennials. It's my generation and Gen Z. They have the greatest role models in history. Let me tell you. Yeah, I'm just doing what I can for Hex and PulseChain. Right now, I've been very focused on helping Ben build his, Hex PulseChain Coalition Discord channel, which we've got 3 admins now and moderators. We got KG in there, Ben Dubard, and Cobb's Corner, and about, if I'm not mistaken, 60 to 70 people from the Hex community joined his Discord channel, where there's PRC20 chat. There's TA for PHEX, EX if people have any TA. PulseChain, PulseX, stuff like that. And that's great, I think that's fantastic. So I'm just, doing all that I really, can, whether it be streaming or doing Twitter spaces, like that Twitter space I had with Ben, almost 7,000 people tuned in. That's like the biggest Twitter Spaces I've ever hosted. So having 7,000 people tuned in, that's a big deal. So yeah, I'm just doing what I can, like I've been doing for the last 2.5 years.
I think that's the beautiful thing about the ecosystem is, we don't work for anyone. No one works for us. Like Richard doesn't work for us. We don't work for him. All that type of stuff. PulseChain devs, not nobody, and everyone to the best of their ability and to however they want to turn it up or turn it down can contribute with whatever their talents they have. Whether I never thought I'd be streaming. Like a couple of years ago, I was like, I literally never even crossed my mind I would even get into it, and I would buy all this equipment and just and then get such a flow with it where I know what I want to talk about. Like you talked about, like I said this other day, I talked about Real DeFi so many times that I know there's new people that tune into streams, but I just don't want to go through it all again and tell them, because the people who are here, which I imagine are probably 67% of people are subs and repeat and stuff. I want to make sure the content is also fresh for them. So I try to, that's why I think the clips come in. I'm able to point people to videos and playlists and stuff where I've already talked about this stuff a million times. So I really do try to keep the content fresh. And I never thought that I would like be doing that. And it never occurred to me. It never occurred to me it'd be interesting, and I would actually like doing it, because anytime I don't like doing it, I'll just stop doing it. Like I'm under no obligation to do anything. Like nobody's paying me. Obviously, I don't monetize all that stuff. So I'm doing it because I like doing it, and I think I'm making a difference in some way, big or small, however people tend to view it in the ecosystem. So
yeah, no, that's what I like. And I was just talking about this with Donovan. Like, I started streaming 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. It was in 2020. And it was because I was working for a project called Icon. Maybe some of you may remember it. I was working for a project called Icon. I was very enthralled in the idea of Icon's, multi-chain idea. I still believe to this day that multi-chain and the inter amalgamation of different layer ones is going to be the future of blockchain. You're already seeing it now through dApps. And I think that will in turn solve a lot of problems blockchains face. But the funny thing is that, I was in that community from late 2018, early 2019 till Q3 of 2021. And at the top, I had about 600 subscribers. And then I was introduced to PulseChain in September of 2021, and I did 2 streams. I did one with Eric, God rest his soul. I really hope his family's doing okay. God rest his soul. And I think the second one was with The Long Vacation. And those two collectively got together 6,000 views, and I'm like, holy shit, this community actually really stands by its content creators. And I went from 600 subscribers to 1,000, what took me 2.5 years in one other community. And I'm not trying to rag on that community, because they're a great community too, and I really wish ICX and the ICX community well. I have nothing against them. I think they're great. I think their multi-chain future, I really do hope they're doing well. I really do. But seeing that someone goes from 600 subscribers to 1,100 in a matter of 2 months is like, wow, that's wild. You don't experience that. So this community does something special by showing up and supporting their content creators. And Paul, have I talked to him personally? No, I haven't. On social media, I have. I've considered having him on YouTube again. He's considering it as well. I'll let everyone know if I'm going to do it or not. If he's open to it, of course. But I have not seen him in almost 2 years personally, in real life. So, I haven't really talked to him as much as, people, tend to think I talk to him. So
yeah, just on the point on the influencers too, I think that the reason we've seen so many come over is because I've been clipping, I've been doing trying to check out, especially when the prices have been going up, going on just general live streams of just people who aren't in the community, talking to them, super chatting, whatever, getting clips of them if they're saying something nice or meaningful about PulseChain or HEX, and then sharing that. And when I share them, they always get hundreds of likes and retweets and all kinds of views, depending on Yeah. So like, I think there's so many wins you can get doing that. For example, like one, of course, for your own community, they like to see other people say nice things about them who are in the community. That's always cool. Two, which is the most so two would be they see that people are taking the time to go clip their content and watch their streams.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if I were a creator, I would like to have somebody clip me saying something positive about I guess I don't talk mostly about this ecosystem, but in general, you get my point. And then number three, they see the engagement. They see, hey, somebody from one community showed up. I've maybe I looked at PulseChain or HEX before. Maybe I had something nice or whatever to say about it, and I'm just kind of like a general YouTuber, and I'm looking for new content or whatever. I see somebody clipped me saying something nice about that community. That community gives me all this love and all this, all these good comments or engagement or otherwise. Why wouldn't they be completely incentivized to at least go check out the ecosystem, maybe make a couple other comments and see how much engagement they can get, if nothing else, like in a selfish way. And maybe they'll grow into a better community member too.
Bro, I'm looking at my Twitter right now to prove that point. My post with, I'm not the biggest name in PulseChain at all by any means. This tweet got 740 likes and 110 retweets. This tweet got, where is it? This tweet got, I gotta shovel through all my dog pics that I like and retweet. The space with Ben Armstrong, 358 likes. It just proves my point. I'm gonna go through a few other ones. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that one we just looked at. Give me 1 second. I just want to see. Pulse petition, almost 200 likes. What else? Like I look at all these tweets that I've done, and it's like 298 likes. 600 likes. And it's like, like that's those are not easy numbers to hit for someone with 20K followers. Like you see that from people who have 60K, 70K, 80K, 90K. So it's like it's pretty wild to think how much of a community this community shows up. That's what I've been trying to say.
Yeah, we even got HEX trending over here. Check that out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's something I want to cover too. I came across this really interesting tweet from the Pampalorian. That's a cool name. HEX story time. I gifted my sister 100K HEX stake on December 23rd, 2020. Whew, what a good time to be around. Ending October 2025, 24 T-shares. It was worth $500 at the time. And the HEX price, look at that HEX price, about half of what it is today. She initially had Staker app and then now use HEX Scout. And then looking at the portfolio now, $5,100 for a 5-year stake made early at a price that was lower than it is today. And we're barely even off the bottom. I mean, yeah, we're a few 100% or whatever, but of what HEX was before at the all-time high, we're not even close. And this is the power. I mean, again, just the power of, forget staking part, forget the yield or whatever, just holding and believing something's going to go up in value and locking it up is just, one way to do that. There's plenty of tools to do it. That's just one way to do it. And again, yeah, after a brutal 99% down bear market, turning $500 into 5K, just, this is the power of this ecosystem, man. Like people forget it mints millionaires. It has minted many, many millionaires. There's if you were to imagine the people who are still here, there's probably plenty of millionaires who are still here. They just like crypto. They want to hang out. They want to promote the ecosystem. They want to do whatever. And then think about all the ones who aren't here anymore. All the ones who got super rich off of HEX in the beginning, and they just went to live their best life. They're like, okay, it did its job for me. That's what I wanted to do. Now they're doing whatever they want to do, which is amazing. That's the power of this ecosystem. You just don't get it anywhere else. You don't get the transparency. You don't get the values. You don't get the community of anywhere else in the world of what we have.
No, well said. Very, very well said. So yeah, very well said.
Story. I love seeing stories like that. If y'all have any other stories you see, feel free to tag me, and definitely love seeing that stuff.
Gotcha.
Now, one last thing, and we'll wrap up here. I got a poll going on, Corey. You get to pick which. Oh, you get so that I'll read it to you. Which crypto chain turns 10K into $1 million this bull cycle? Is it PulseChain, Cardano, Solana, or Sui? I'm putting you on the spot, Corey. Which one?
Well, I definitely don't think you're going to get 10K. You're going to make $1 million off of 10K with Solana. There's no question about that. I'm just looking at the poll here. 10K with Sui, probably not. Cardano, even though I'm a fan of Cardano, 10K, probably not. Especially right now, 10K gets you like, I suck at math. 10,000 divided by 60, by 0.60 is like, what the hell is that? Any math? I failed math twice.
Oh, I wasn't listening to the. You trying to come up with a reasoning.
10,000 divided by 0.62. What is that?
Let's see. 10,000 divided by 0.62. 16,129.
16,000. Yeah, you ain't making $1 million off of that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. PulseChain, $1 million off of 10K. You're killing me, Smalls. If
you can just say which one has the most likely chance. It doesn't have to be you believe it's going to.
A most likelihood, a cycle 1 cryptocurrency that has a very, very, very strong community and a very strong founder behind it is more inclined to do better X's wise than pre-existing chains that have done very well in pre-existing cycles. That if you're yes, PulseChain, yes.
Just to confirm, your resounding answer is PulseChain?
Yes, I just
want to see the results too. I want to see your results.
Yes.
Wow, 88%.
There you go. No, I mean, I wouldn't be PulseChain. It's PulseChain. So, that doesn't surprise me. It really does matter, though, like where PulseChain goes and it's high with the SEC, unfortunately. If the SEC thing ends before the bull run happens, I do believe that PulseChain and HEX and PulseX and Inc., they go into uncharted waters when it comes to prices. But right now, even though like most people aren't talking about the SEC case as much, which is good, which means we're kind of disconnecting from RH a little bit, which is kind of a good thing.
Don't forget Solana up. This article is from November and it's went up, I think, even more after SEC level security went up 400%.
Yeah, I think that's true. I honestly think that Solana. I don't think Solana is going to do many more X's. I mean, it may. I mean, I interviewed the founder of Solana in 2020 back on my channel when it first came out, when it was $2, and I faded it. So that sucked. Yeah, a Cycle 1 cryptocurrency like PulseChain is more inclined to do better price performance-wise than pre-existing coins that have done exponential numbers in the past. So I would say PulseChain hands down, no question.
Yeah, and of course, everyone disclaimer on the poll too. Of course, a lot of people who follow me that have done the poll, of course,
it's not financial advice.
In the community.
Advice.
Yeah, that too. But a lot of people are going to answer this PulseChain, or they would answer HEX if I would have put on there as a poll as well, because a lot of people follow me and would have answered it from here. But also, I think the hashtags were reaching some people because there are a lot of people who think Sui 6%. Sui, that's was that like maybe 100 or so people around there, 50 to 100 people. Yeah, I mean, it's just another L1 that, let's see, let's go DeFi Llama. I'll show you. It's kind of neck to neck with PulseChain, I think, in TVL. Let me check. Chains. PulseChain killing it on TVL too. Let's see. Yeah, Sui's number 10. Okay, so we had a dip recently on PulseChain, so it dropped to 12. I think it was 11 earlier. But yeah, Sui is the next biggest other than Manta, I guess.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, okay.
Pretty close on TVL though. It's we're flirting with if we pass Sui, we got to pass Optimism, Avalanche, and Polygon to get to that $1 billion.
That'll be in a bull run. I think that'll be possible, but also take into account that those probably TVLs will rise in value as well. If we stay in the top 15 for a new chain, I'm completely content with that. I'm very happy. If we get to top 10, glorious. Top 5, holy crap. But top 10, top 15. Good enough for me. So,
well, Corey, what do you want to take us out on, man? Great stream. I feel like we covered a lot of really critical topics. What do you want to take us out on, man? What's good?
Sure, guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to RHMax. I see he's almost at 10K. Let's get him to 10K. Guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. I'm almost to 11K. So consider subscribing to my channel. I just had Donovan on my channel to talk about his project, being advisor of that project Pulse launch. That should be fun. I have a big name, not really crypto related, but I have Greg Manorino coming on in a couple of weeks, who I'm a close friend with as well. So yeah, consider sharing, and subscribing to my channel. And yeah, man, I'll see you in a month or ish.
Yeah, it's always good to have you on, man, and just get a perspective. I think you bring a unique perspective from the ecosystem, and again, you are kind of shared between a lot of different coins and chains and stuff going on. You interview a lot of interesting people on the channel too. So everyone, make sure, I've got Corey tagged in the description, and also on Twitter. I think it's at Corey123.
Corey Costa 123.
Sorry, Corey Costa at Corey Costa 123. And of course, you got a pretty thriving crypto channel as well. And happy to have you in our community covering a lot of the stuff we're doing too. Because man,
thank you, sir.
This thing is a gem. It is a gem. I love it.
Thank you, sir. You be easy, brother.
All right, everyone. Scivive and 5555. We are out.